How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and another video on the 2J build for the Supra. I finally got around to getting the input shaft, so the box is on. I've gone from a Samsonus on a 7M GE to a 2jz GE. Me and my fucking expensive gearboxes on my poverty motors. Though, now that it's on, there's only one way to find out anyway. Let's see if I can turn the torch on. Yep, there we go. I'm probably going to need to shim the throw-up bearing because I think that's too large a gap. I'll get my tool out later on and I'll check the gap to see what it actually is, and then I should have a stack of shims somewhere from when I bought this kit. And I'm just gonna, have to pull the gearbox off, but then shove the shims behind that throw-up bearing, and then it should be good. Then hopefully head arrives very soon. I'm going to finish off manifold tomorrow and make a start on my turbo drain, and it's getting pretty close to hopefully dropping in. So I've already had to modify my manifold. The turbo was too close to this runner, so I've just welded on another turbo flange on top of that one, because your dog here like flanges, so I bolted a flange to your flange. Just going to leave that cool down for a while, and then probably going to have to reface that a little bit. Hopefully it didn't warp too much. I'll check it with a straight edge. But yeah, that should give me the clearance I need. Then I want to make a new turbo drain. Pretty much the old one is still perfect shape wise, so probably just pretty much remake what I had, except cut it off there and dash 12 instead of dash 10, and it should be pretty good. Though I'm going to start again because this has been on 4 different turbos, modified 3 different times, and is of a questionable water tightness or oil tightness. So yeah, got to make a new turbo drain, and I've got to come up with some solution for the power steering as well. Might make my own wee adapter for it. I will see how that goes, because I'm not interested in bringing anything in from overseas, because I'm kind of giving myself a stupidly tight timeline. What I'm doing now for my turbo drain is I'm just making up a new flange, because I don't want to reuse any of that, to be honest. It's pretty gross. So cut that out. Pretty booty boy. Just marked out center that way and center there. So I'm going to put a punch there, get my center mark, and then I'm going to get the distance for the bolt holes either side, and then I'm going to drill this out, and then once everything's all nice and true, then I'll shape it up a bit nicer, and get this ready to weld on. Got my holes sort of punched out now, so they're all in line, so everything should bolt up nice and true for that hole there. I think that's 17. I'll double check it off the turbo. And that was 50 apart, so just going for 25 from the center. I will probably oversize these half a size or something, just to make sure in case it doesn't line up, but I'll go with 10mm or whatever it is, 8mm to start off with. So yeah, time to drill these out. I'll bolt it to the turbo, make sure it's all nice and true and sitting right, and then I'll shape it. Well, all the holes are drilled, and I've cleaned up all the edges, and fits really nicely. Actually quite happy with that. So I will round the edges now and guess I'll bolt that on and get ready to start welding some pipe to it. That is the first bit of pipe welded on. Hopefully that is more sealed than my previous attempt. Doesn't look too bad. That is the drain, hopefully done. So that was my old one, and it looks like it was going to sort of work, so pretty much followed the same thing. I knew that was too long and the wrong fitting, so I've got that only tacked on so that I can sort of test fit and play around with it, whether I need to change that angle slightly or shorten it or whatever. Well, this is something I definitely never saw myself doing. JZ in the hole. Rip. 7M. Wow, there we go. Car officially has a 2J in it. Hood clearance is going to be questionable. Turbo placement sits much the same as it did before, so I'm probably just going to trim it back there and sort of cock it in a bit more of an angle to get it away from that chassis rail. Everything's just sort of finger tight at the moment. It's not quite sat right in one of the mounts. I've just unfortunately got called into work because someone's sick, so what was going to be 2 days off for the first time in a long time will probably be no days off, so I just need to lift up the motor and drop it back down again to get it sort of level out. It is tilted that way ever so slightly, which is making all this fitment a little bit worse. Wastegate is hard up against the brake line, which is not ideal. I can't even get it on, but might be able to get it on, and the motor's actually sitting over properly. So that is the original GE head. My vvti head is still not back from being machined. So yeah, it's a Cinco manifold on there. As you can see, it's pretty much touching there. I had to weld on another flange even to lift it up to get it to that point. So it's basically pretty much just touching on the label. So I'm going to grind the label off very soon because I'm about to pull this motor out. Quite a few of you guys have sent me DMs and also commented on my videos about the fact that I'm running a GTE oil pump. Now, shame on me for not doing much research other than everyone's like, oh, I get a GTE pump. Then you'll have your crank sensor and it'll be... But there was a little segment below that, which is, but if you're going to run a GTE pump on a GE block, you need to modify it. Otherwise, you'll have far too much oil pressure and you'll blow out your front main seal, apparently. Now, I'll be honest, I can't really be bothered pulling the motor back out. So I did a little bit of reading on it, which is just typical internet things. People arguing each other. Some people saying they didn't do it and run a GTE pump and they have blown out seals and everything's great and everyone's stupid. And then other people are like, nah, I've blown out seals and everyone I know that's done it's blown out seals. So the one thing that is consistent is if you don't do anything, you'll have quite high oil pressure. Probably too high. So it's at the stage now, like, I mean, the creek head's not even on it yet, so realistically it's a few accessories and a few bolts, and then I can get the motor back out again. So as much as I can't be bothered, I'm going to pull the motor, and I'm going to drill the relief that's behind the front main seal, which apparently is pretty much what you need to do to stop it blowing out. All this bloody effort cleaning all this bloody silicone again, pulling out the motor again. Because apparently you drill that like a size up, and that solves all of life's problems. I don't know. We'll see. So internet, I've done what you have asked of me. I've drilled out this hole. So doing my research on it. This is the number one thing that everyone agrees with is a good idea, is taking that size up a size. So that's factory 5mm and I've sent a 6mm through it. Just have to be careful to, it's going to be hard to record, to stop because I didn't want to go into the sealing surface. So thankfully Willie was there to give me a hand and let me know when to stop. I might just clean that up a little bit because I can see a wee burr there. But yeah, now I'm just going to clean this out, make sure there's no metal shavings in it. And it's in the car, but just cleaned out the sump after resealing it, and it should be good for final assembly. And thing arrived today, well yesterday, but I wasn't here. There's my head. So that has been done. So that was assembled and cleaned up by Kennelly Cams, as well as the cams were made by Kennelly as well. And he said he gave the wee ports a mild clean up for me. So yeah, finally everything is pretty much arriving. So that is my cam specs. What do you say that was? About 10 something mil of lift, eh?
10.2.
10.2 mil of lift. I guess yeah, 279, 273 duration cam. So yeah, excited to see how this thing goes on the dyno once it's all assembled. So what I'm going to do now is the last thing before the head can go on is there's a oil gallery that runs through here and then feeds to the head, and there is some balls in there. So I'm going to get a bit of welding wire stuck to there, pull that ball out, tap it, thread it, and then that should be my turbo feed. Sort of a tidier than coming up over the top of the front, I think. So yeah, time to get that guy out. That was far easier than I expected.
Yeah, nice, first time.
Sweet. All that is now out. So that's our oil gallery in there. So now to drill and tap that. And then I guess got to try and clean all the swarf out of it too, which will be the fun part.
Yeah.
Give that a good blowout.
Yeah.
Still not what I'd call super tight.
Keep going then.
Yeah, it's getting tighter.
I reckon that's pretty fucking good.
And there we go. I have the fitting on the head now, so I can just run my turbo feed up through there and down and be good. Then I've got a oil filter relocation-y thing on the block on this side which I can line up for the VVT, and that is all my plumbing for the oil done.